I just found some footage in my archive of silly videos I filmed some time ago. I think it's a story too good not to be told. Potentially. So it's the summer of 23. I'm living in Milan, Italy. Everything is awesome until it's not. And I get kicked out and deported. So around 5 years ago, in cat years, as I said, I got kicked out of my beautiful, definitely not cockroach infested model apartment in Milan. But I have returned to finish what I have started. I don't know what exactly it was that I started, but in the last 3 seconds of me being in Milan, I managed to book 2 jobs. So after spending one whole day in Lithuania, I was teleported back to Italy. And I am not mad about that, not in the slightest. I would gladly repeat this workday, this difficult and stressful workday, 38 more times. And after that, I would get sick of it probably, like a normal person. The highlight of the shoot was definitely the fact that I got to step into the water with jeans and sneakers on. I've never done that before. Neither accidentally nor intentionally, but I have to admit, in the past, there have been some ideas, intrusive thoughts even, telling me just go ahead and do it. But this beach, wow, it was lovely, like absolutely wonderful. There were like 20 RVs with German license plates parked in this one spot, and it looked like exactly how you would imagine a DIY luxury vacation resort. Bora Bora on a budget. I'm telling you, beautiful folding camping chairs. Top of the line, Napoleon Prestige 500 natural gas grill. How did they even bring that thing out here? Also, there was something like 2 kilometers of clothesline hanging from the vehicles, all covered with billions of swimming trunks in the silliest and quirkiest patterns humanly possible. There was also this man, standing in the hot sun, barbecuing, completely burnt to a crisp himself, but with a smile on his face. Then I turn to the other side and I see this friendly group of ladies destroying a travel bingo set. Who even plays bingo on the beach? Like, that's such an outside the box thinking kind of moment. There was also the group's comedian, cracking jokes, making everybody laugh. I was laughing with them, even though, mind you, this was all happening in German. I don't speak German, but I could just imagine like some classic, timeless father jokes. The rest of the day I was just playing around with this idea in my head, thinking, could this be what my own retirement looks like? And do I want it to look this way? Yes. And yes. Thank you. Also, I completely forgot to mention that this is in fact the one and only Lake Como, and this specific lake reminded me of an incident that happened to me. And it changed the course of my life. Let me set the scene. I arrive at my agency's model apartment sometime around 1 a.m. There was no one there as far as I could tell, just me and the loudest AC I've ever heard in my entire life on Antarctica mode. Even me, as an inhabitant of Northern Europe, I was shivering a little bit. I tried to find a remote for it. It was definitely somewhere, but it was not here, probably. I thought to myself, well, maybe it's for the better, because Milan on this night was like my computer that's recording the audio right now, very hot. There were 2 spare beds in this room, and I had to make a decision which bed I will sleep in. So I chose the bed, and then I noticed something. That this orange bed sheet, well, it was wet. So after screaming and crying internally for 10 minutes, I heard something. A sound that I could only describe as calming, relaxing nature sound compilation. In other words, just water dripping on the floor. So since at this point it was already like 2 a.m., I just switched to the other bed that was luckily dry, and I went to sleep. Total darkness. I woke up at 5 a.m., freezing my toes off, and I wanted to pick up my socks that were conveniently placed on the floor next to my bed. My socks, they were, dare I say, floating in a body of water. More like drowning, really. They were like fish in an ocean. The room was the ocean, and I had to swim downstairs to get help, unsuccessfully. So I didn't know what to do, so I just went to work instead. Work was cool, but obviously since the lake/ocean situation was still very much on my mind, during the breaks I was, making some calls, trying to keep the business afloat.
Finished. I'm super tired and super hungry, and I can't wait to see my flooded bedroom.
But then, in my wildest dreams, I couldn't have imagined this specific scenario playing out. Everything was back to normal. Well, like 35% there. I probably don't need to tell you this, but I was relieved then. But now that I was writing the script of this video, I really wish that there was more to it, like a more, dramatic ending, or like some sort of a lesson, a chance for some words of wisdom to come out of my mouth for once. But, it's not possible.
So, to be completely honest with you, I am very tired after these 2 days of shooting, and especially because of my early call time this morning. And the AC is working very well. It's not leaking, and the bedroom, the apartment is not flooded. So that makes me extremely happy. Yeah, but today was amazing because we went to this beautiful place and I felt so happy. Can you see how happy I look? But tomorrow is gonna be my biggest job so far. And I don't feel like I have enough energy to perform very well, because obviously I want to do my best for this job. I want to do my best for every job, obviously, but this is kind of special to me.
I didn't even want to make this video in the first place. This sounds like a beginning of a YouTube apology. I'm so sorry, you guys. On this day, I was quite ecstatic. We were shooting in the highest mountain range of Europe, and simultaneously, I was at the peak of my career. I was, I rolled right back down after this, but I was filming a lot on my phone, being, relatively annoying. Obviously, I couldn't show the product or the crew or the set. The location itself was But as it always goes, it's a classic situation. 5 seconds later, I was already having an existential crisis pretty much. Something along the lines of, why do things seem much cooler before they happen? I don't want to generalize here, okay? I'm just an observer of life. And this is what I have observed. I've conducted a survey with a sample size of 1.
Hi, this is Laura from the Voice Memos app. I wrote down a bit of a pretentious type of paragraph about how people tend to focus on the future and ignore the present, and always plan something that will happen eventually. And by the time that thing happens, they already kind of don't care about it anymore. But then I realized that it was in fact quite cringe, so I just, I archived it, as you do. And I think after watching this video, you would not come back to this channel for life advice. I am pretty sure. For now, I just gotta say thank you very much for watching, and see you soon, probably in another 6 months, but hopefully sooner.